All right, what's going on, YouTube? So Tekashi 6ix9ine apparently he wants to serve the remaining of his, I guess, 2 year sentence or a year and a half sentence because he's supposed to be getting out before the year this year 2020, and he wants to serve it in his own home, and for matters of reasons because his safety. Yeah, you in prison with a lot of criminals. I mean, murderers, slanderers. It's a lot of people from different gangs and stuff, and I feel like he's not in no type of he's in a max security prison, but it's nothing like he's in confinement or anything, solitary confinement, where he's just pretty much by himself. But for the most part, if he want to actually, I'm pretty sure he had an option of doing that, but he would have lost his mind. So he's like, I got to at least have some nature, have some peace right now while I'm serving this so-called 24-month sentence for racketeering. And I mean, the only thing that can really save him at this moment, if his lawyer Lance starts, a proposition going on with the judge in New York, and maybe he can be on house arrest, and that'll be a little bit better. He can focus more of his music. I don't know if he had a little studio in his home, but it may be a nice career move for him too as well, because I really don't want anything to happen to him. He's been kind of, his whole career has just been insinuating things, getting into gangs and stuff like that, robbing, assaulting, just has a conglomerate of crimes on his record. And we be like, okay, well, you brought this stuff to yourself. You threatened Chief Keef. You going into Chicago saying where everybody at. Then when they come in and pull up that smoke, that's when you want to run. So at the end of the day, man, it's like a catch-22, because if he does go home, people, it's gonna be all on social media maybe, and people will probably know where he's at. He said, hey, you know where I'm at. Hey, I'm at this such and such address. You want to go out here? On the bang, you want to fight? This is my location. I remember he stating that in Breakfast Club and many interviews when he was going back and forth in Dominican Republic and giving out the charity. I'm looking like, bro, you're trying to do good things in life, but you still inviting a lot of negativity. And then when that stuff comes back to you, now you feel like you're defenseless. Don't want anything to happen to this young man. I'm glad that Charlamagne the guy, he actually brought a pastor. I talked about this before a few years ago, and they pray for him. They pray for his sanity. And I'm not gonna go through his whole background because that's for another story. I talked about that girl from single mother, and he was homeless for a little bit. He had to drop school for the most part. Witnessed his father, dad, didn't really have that guidance. So all he knows is, hey, I got this money, some called talent. I'm following maybe someone's footstool or whatever, their shoes and everything, like 50 Cent trying to make the highest just rapper in the game. And at the end of the day, Tekashi 6ix9ine, you just have to stay low. I don't know what it's like in prison. It could be really hell. It could be people just he probably thinking about someone just want to go out here and kill him and stab him, do all kinds of evil things, sadistic stuff to him and to his body that he can't really handle. At the end of the day, man, you have to stay calm. Just read your Bible, man. That's all I can really think of. And try to, if you can get home, just make sure you're real safe. Got some bodyguards with you, because at the end of the day, man, I just don't think it's gonna really end pretty. Because especially when you're testifying, people say the so-called snitching. He was bringing other people down with him. It was just so many things that came apart with his whole trial. And it's just really interesting reading this on me to take out, like, oh, dude, like, dang, Tekashi 6ix9ine. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, man, but just be that father when you get out, and don't be bragging about how you spend your time in jail and prison, because we're gonna use this like, hey, well, you was the one that's kind of scared of your life. Just be humble, man. Just turn around and just make music. That's all you have to do. Just be yourself. You don't have to be somebody just in order to make it, man. You don't have to be something that you're not, or whatever the media portrays you to be. So if he has to change heart, there's many people that went to prison and came out and did a 360 and just turned their whole life around. Through following the word of God, getting their education. Some people got a master's degree. Like Centoria Brown. I mean, she ended up getting married, got her master's degree. I mean, she even studied clemency, but from the governor. But it's all up to you and your mindset. Hopefully, you matured a little bit, and if he does go home, pray that he will be safe. He don't do anything stupid, because that's gonna really bite him. And please don't go on interviews in the Breakfast Club like, hey, I mean, you could. I'm pretty sure they're gonna interview you, and teams are gonna interview about your experience, but just keep it low and just do you, because it can be it's a psychological. Tupac said this when he was in prison before it was like sexually accusing a woman or raping her. He was like, yeah, I mean, even though in prison it did humble me a little bit for the most part, but he started doing a lot of thinking and observation and writing a lot. But he said it's like hell. I mean, you got constant harassment, food is terrible, people, you wonder if people's gonna hit you, beat you up. I mean, you're in constant fear every single day. And there's people that's here for 10 years, 20 years, even life, that that's killed an innocent person, or that just caught up with some fraud, and they would never see their family again, going crazy. It's unsanitary. He's like, is this a place that you don't want to be? And hate when artists and rappers talk about this demise here. But just be a change, be an inspiration. It's the only way. I feel like if you don't get views, this is the best way for your soul to be saved. And not judge or anything, but man, this is real interesting here. So if you do go home, take advantage of this. Be there for your daughter, and just keep pushing, man. But this your boy Unlean Jr. What you guys think about this? Tekashi 6ix9ine. You just he want a grant just to be at home right now with his family and stuff like that. Then you can serve the remainder of his sentence and at his home. So hopefully if they got some money, to put together. It's gonna be interesting how they're gonna really achieve this. But it's your boy Unlean Jr. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the channel. Young Link Jr. and the Cash Out. I'm out. Deuces.